Hello and welcome to Inspire DI, the unofficial podcast for Destination Imagination teams and team managers. My name is Coach Kate. I am a team manager and former STEAM Challenge competitor. Welcome to the Global Finals series. In these next few weeks, we will be continuing to talk to you all about Global Finals. Today, we have a special podcast for you. Destination Imagination headquarters put out a great question on their social media. They asked, what advice would you give a team going to Global Finals for the first time? I took all that advice and compiled it to share with you. I heard so many great pieces of advice that I wish I had heard before I went to Global Finals for the first time. I'll be adding in tips that my teams have gathered over the years. So first topic is advice on interacting and watching other teams. This is a highlight of Global Finals. Your team might be really excited to pin trade. Your team is also probably going to want to unload their props and practice a little bit, but I would take some of the advice of some of these managers and former team members. This is what they said. Interact with teams from other states and countries. Go to events and watch your own challenge as well as other challenge performances. If you're watching other teams in your own challenge, watch the level above you to be blown away. This is great advice for especially the younger kids to see what some of the older teams are doing and how they've taken these challenges to the next level. You'll absolutely be blown away. The next piece of advice, talk to other teams and teams from other countries. Globals is an exceptional opportunity to learn about other cultures. Watch other teams in your challenge and in others. You may want to try a different type of challenge next year, and this is a great way to understand what that challenge is all about. Also, attend scheduled events. You will have fun. There are so many scheduled events that Destination Imagination puts together. It's a great way to experience globals. It's nice when you meet new teams, you can plan to meet up at one of the events together. Last year, there was a jigsaw puzzle competition, and another team that we had made friends with, we decided to do the jigsaw puzzle competition with that team. That was a great bonding experience. The kids really made close friends with another team that they hadn't known before tournaments. The next topic that I saw a lot of comments on was team togetherness and identifying your team at Globals. So this is important, especially if you have younger teams, but it does apply to everyone. Some managers and teams advised that you get the same color t-shirts for all of your team members or get hats for all of your team and parents to wear. It makes it so much easier to find them and they could find each other. Our team this year ordered t-shirts from Jiffy. That was a really easy way and very inexpensive to buy all the same color shirts. You can also through the Jiffy website order iron-on design. So if one of your team members wants to make a little design that says your team name, those you can get and iron on, and it's pretty inexpensive. If you don't want to purchase shirts, you can all wear the same color shirt, and that makes it easier for your team to find each other. I have high schoolers right now. I'm bringing freshmen, sophomores, and juniors. There's no way that I could ever get them to dress the same, so that's not going to happen. But since they're older, they do have other ways of communicating with each other, so that's okay. I definitely would advise for some of the younger aged teams to have some physical way to identify each other, either by a hat or by wearing a similar color shirt each day. What other advice? Someone says, we've seen team managers with a small flag or sign going into opening and closing ceremonies to help teammates be able to see where their coaches are during the crowd rush of getting into opening and closing ceremonies. It always works. So I love this piece of advice. We tend to get lost, not necessarily on entering opening and closing ceremonies, but definitely on leaving opening ceremonies and closing ceremonies. So I would go a step further than this and advise that you identify a meeting location for after opening and closing ceremonies where you are going to all gather. I do like the idea of bringing a little flag or a sign to help identify where you are, especially if you are in charge of many children, if they don't have a parent with them. So if you are in charge of a group of children, I would definitely advise that you have some way for them to identify you. And another piece of advice that I loved, many teams we have met have Life 360 or Find My on their team members. This is with parent permission, of course. If a child has some kind of device that you can put Life 360 or the Find My app on, that is really helpful. I'm also going to take it a step further this year and bring walkie-talkies for a bunch of my team. I think that might help as well. Okay, so topics that people commented about pin trading. And this is advice our collective Destination Imagination community has shared. One manager said, tell kids you can say no to any pin trade. If you want to learn more about pin trading, my last podcast was all about pin trading and what that is and how to do it at Global Finals. Please go back and take a listen to that if you are a new team and want to learn a little more about pin trading. So more about what other teams have said. Don't get too deep into pin trading and ignore all the other amazing things happening at Global Finals and in Kansas City. Pin trading is only one activity among the many offered at Global Finals. You can also step out of the convention center and explore Kansas City a bit. Visit the DISC booth, which stands for Destination Imagination Scholarship Committee. They sell vintage pins and raise money for scholarships. Make sure to have your parents label all of the children's pin towels, bags, or book with their name and a cell phone number to contact them. As you know, kids tend to leave things around different places, and this would be a really sad event if someone loses their pins. I can share multiple stories with you of kids losing their pin towel and that pin towel getting returned. The only way that is done is if your pin towels, binders, bags, whatever your kid is keeping their pins in, is labeled with their name and some kind of contact information. It's really, really super helpful and important. Please do that. This is a huge tournament, but people are very friendly and nice. And if somebody does lose a pin towel, it's more likely than not that they will get it returned to them if there's a way to identify that it's theirs. I also heard a story of someone took a picture and posted it of a pin towel that they found, and there was a very obvious team pin on there, and that's how it was identified as to whose towel it was. And what do I mean by towels? If you didn't listen to the last podcast, many kids put their pins on a hand towel or a smaller towel and just roll that up and put that in their suitcase. That's a great way to travel with towels and to carry it around in your backpack. And that helps you to protect your pins, and it's also easy to lay out for everybody to display their pins. You'll also see pin bags and pin books and things like that, but a towel is all you need, or just a piece of cut felt. If you are a team manager, this was some great advice that someone gave. Bring pins for yourself to trade. Your kids will love pin trading, and it will be awesome fun if you join in. I agree with this. Sometimes you're just standing, hanging out with the team members and supervising, and pin trading's fun. I would advise even team managers to get a few pins to trade as well. You're most likely going to be in a situation where pin trading is going on, and it might be fun. So those were the highlights of the pin trading advice. Next, planning your days while you're at Global Finals. The first comment was, teams, parents, and team managers alike, first year is like a kid in the candy store. You want to do it all, and you want to be at all places at once, but you can't. So definitely plan ahead. This was a great piece of advice. Planning ahead will not only help you to make sure that you get to do the things that interest you and interest your team, but also helps you to not fall into that rut of your team just practicing and practicing the entire time and not having any fun at Global Finals. So planning is a must. Another team manager said, outside of your team's challenge presentation and instant challenge, it's helpful to plan your Global's agenda ahead of time. Which presentations do you want to see, and which workshops do you want to attend? Build in flexibility to have downtime or spontaneous fun time. This is where the awesome Global Finals app comes in great. So there's this great Global Finals app. Go onto your phone or device and find it. Just search Global Finals and you will see the Global Finals 26 logo. And download that app. It is going to be your best friend. You can see the full up-to-date schedule of all the events happening on that app. If you visit the schedule section and tap the icon to the left of the individual events, you can add that item on the schedule to your personal schedule. And at the bottom of the schedule page, you'll see your own personal schedule. So this applies to activities you want to do at Global Finals, and it also applies to any performances you want to see. Every team's performance is listed on that app, and you can click on that performance and save it to your own schedule. Another comment that someone made about planning your days: if you're an alum, or even if you're not, check out the Alumni Corner for a chill out space. It's a great place to step away from the hustle and bustle while still being close to everything with fun activities. So check out that alumni space. You pass it on when you're just kind of walking through the convention center. I would definitely tell your kids to stop there. They've got fun games going on and activities, and it's a fun place to hang out. Another piece of advice: take in the full experience of Globals, not just practicing and performing. Watch lots of performances and get inspired for next year. Take so many pictures with your team and try to meet as many new people as possible. Another commenter said, go watch other teams. Watch as many as you can. Wander the prop storage area and check out the amazing solutions other teams have created, and pick some teams to go watch. It's a great learning experience. As I've said in previous podcasts, when you're walking around the prop storage area, if you look in every booth, at the top of the booth is the team's name and when they're going to be performing. So you can easily find that on your app, save it, and put it into your schedule. So then the next time you open up your schedule on your app, you can see the team that you and your kids wanted to go and watch. Another commenter said, watch top level teams for inspiration and to be wowed. Yes, some of those high school teams, even a lot of those middle school teams as well, will have really amazing performances. So walk around that prop storage area and see ones you want to watch. Please make sure your team members do watch some. It's a really great learning experience. Another commenter said, take a lot of photos in the exhibit hall. There will be daily changes, and it's like a parade of champions and workmanship. Encourage your kids to talk to others. Watch and cheer for international teams that may not have as many families and friends there to support them. Be an ambassador of kindness. Well, I love these comments. Those were really nice. I think they really talk to the camaraderie and the spirit of DI. When you're at Global Finals, interact with the other teams. Don't be shy. We are all here to support each other, and the more you interact, the more fun you and your team will have. But here's some very helpful advice. Only observe with your eyes. Do not enter another exhibit booth or touch props or costumes. This is really important. We want to respect everyone's hard work. Make sure you express to the kids, especially these younger ones, please don't touch. We had a bad experience last year that I want to share with you so that none of your teams have this experience. We brought some younger siblings with us to Global Finals, and those siblings, who were very quiet and kind and lovely children, when our team wasn't looking, two of them started playing with one of the props. This was one of the main technical elements in our team's challenge, and they broke it. This was very challenging to fix, and it brought a lot of frustration onto the team. It was right before they were about to perform, so they had to find the supplies very quickly. They thought that they could play with it because everybody on the team was touching things. They just didn't realize that it was something that was so delicate. So learn from our mistake. Make sure, even if it is somebody from your own team or a spectator that you have brought along, that they know not to touch any of the team's props. Because as we all know, even though parents and siblings and friends are allowed to help us move our props, they're not allowed to help us fix them. So if anything breaks, that is on the team to figure out how to fix it. And if it's last minute and something has been broken, that can be really upsetting to the team. So make sure, don't touch anybody's props. Okay. Another piece of advice that was given online was bring a jacket or sweatshirt for the convention center. It can be cool at times, so have layers with you. This doesn't apply as much for the kids because the kids are running around a lot and burning a lot of energy, but a lot of us parents and team managers are not doing as much running and moving, and that convention center can be a little chilly. So it's a good idea to bring an extra layer with you just in case it does get a little cold. Also, the advice from online, bring comfortable shoes and a good backpack with a phone charger or external battery. That is super important. You don't want to lose your cell phone or watch power when you're running around the convention center trying to keep track of all of the kids and families. So make sure you do bring an external battery with you so you don't have to run back to the hotel to charge. You will be hitting all of your step goals and more, so be sure to wear comfortable shoes. One person even said, bring 2 pairs of sneakers. I loved that. That was funny. Bring comfortable shoes. You're going to be walking around. This is not a time to wear your really cute, but maybe not so comfortable shoes. Just walking from your hotel, even if you're staying at one of the hotels right next to the convention center, you're still doing a lot of walking. That prop storage area is huge. Walking to each of the activities within the convention center. This is blocks and blocks of convention center. You will be walking a lot. Bring a water bottle with you. Bring that extra layer. Bring that extra charger. Most importantly is the credentials. Do not leave your hotel room without your credentials. You will not be allowed into the convention center. If you forget them, you're going to have to go back. So remind yourself, remind your kids, remind all the spectators, remind everyone that there's no way of getting into the convention center without credentials. Let's talk about meals and activities. So person advised to plan your meals with reservations. Everyone is looking for a place to eat at the same time. This is a really good piece of advice, and I love that someone gave this. If you want to sit down at a restaurant with your team, it is going to be hard to get in there without having to wait if you don't have reservations ahead of time. My advice is always make reservations for the whole team and any of the adults that are with you. You can always make your reservations smaller, but trying to make that reservation bigger will be very difficult on the day of. So my advice is make a reservation for the whole team and talk to them that day. If they don't want to go, then you can always make that reservation smaller. You might not want to go out every night for dinner with the whole team. That can be a lot, especially with kids and adults and trying to fit everybody's likes and dislikes. So we do have an upcoming podcast all about food, but just saying ahead of time, it is a great idea to sort of plan those days. Look at the schedule and see what activities, especially evening activities, your team is going to want to go to and plan around those. Opening and closing ceremonies, you're definitely going to want to think about food before or after those events. Opening ceremony is later, and so you might want to grab an earlier dinner ahead of time. And you can think about that with your team before you head to Global Finals. We will go over the details of all the options of places to eat in a later podcast, but I would just think about it. Do you think there might be a night where you just want to order some pizza in the hotel and have everybody in the team have that? Do you want to go out to more of a faster food type place? These are all these different options, but I would advise that you think about it a bit before you head to Global Finals because it is harder to plan where to eat on the fly because everyone's trying to eat dinner at the same time. Okay, team challenge and instant challenge. The advice that people gave online, managers, walk from prop storage to your presentation area to see where your team will be going. Then take the whole team to do the same. Try to do this early so that the team will have a chance to peek into that performance space and see where they'll be coming in and where they'll be performing. This really helps with the jitters, the unknown, when kids aren't really sure where they're going to be performing. It's nice to take a little walk with them when there's no pressure. Just take a walk with the team and say, let's go look at our performance space. You show where prop drop is going to be. You show them where the launch line is, and you can peek into the room if there isn't anybody performing. If you're there on Thursday, you can peek in, which is nice because there won't be other teams performing on that day. So that's a really nice day to take this little walk. It's also a good idea to plan how you're going to move your props. Some of the props, you're just walking straight across a bridge to your performance area. Others, you have to go down a floor. If you have to go down a floor, you should decide with your team. Are you going to be going down the escalator? Are you going to be going down the elevator? What is the closest and easiest way for you to transport your props? That's something to think about ahead of time. Tell your team, though, throughout the competition, don't stress out too much about your performance. Global Finals is too fun to let your worries ruin the trip. Focus on enjoying yourself. That was one piece of advice that someone gave online. They also said, unpack your props, run through a practice, and then go have fun. I love that. Don't have your team spend the entire time practicing and working on their props. It's not worth it, and they lose the fun of this event. Let's talk about the managers. Managers, what can you do to make this a fun time for you? Remember, this isn't all about the teams. Managers and adults that are with these teams, you guys can have a lot of fun too at Global Finals. Don't think about this as just the kids' activity. You managers have put in a lot of work, and it's time for you to enjoy too. One person left this great comment that I thought was so fun, And they said, debrief and reflect with your team each evening on what they liked most, what was their wow of the day, and something that they want to remember. I love that so much. I think that will also help inform what you do on the later days at Global Finals. This can be a long time if you don't have things planned out. And to hear what kids really liked, that can be really helpful in helping the team decide what they're going to do the next day. If some kids saw a performance that they really liked, maybe that will encourage other kids to go watch a performance too if they didn't all go together. So I really like that a lot. Another manager said, breathe and enjoy the magnitude of what your team is experiencing. I love that. You're meeting teams from all over the world, and just breathe and soak it in. Another comment was, make sure to take advantage of the team manager lounge, grab a drink and a snack, and take a moment to yourself. Next comment said, take a moment away, leave the convention center and take a walk. Take a few minutes away from everything and find your center. No one will judge you, so make sure you do what's best for you. Yes, I love that advice as well. Take a minute, leave the kids with another parent and go take a walk outside the convention center where you're not responsible for anyone for a few minutes. As a team manager, we're responsible for these kids, but really when we go to Global Finals, we're responsible sort of for everybody, it feels like. So make sure you do have a minute for yourself where you can breathe and take a break. Another comment was, Globals is the prize. Take a breath, soak it in, have fun. I love that. That was a great comment. All right. Another comment, the people you meet and memories you make will last a lifetime. Don't stress about the small things because in the end, all that matters is you had fun, worked as a team, and made the most of every minute you were there. Good luck and congratulations on such a monumental accomplishment. These comments were great. I think this really shows the spirit of DI in these comments. This is how you'll feel if you make the most of your experience. And then the last comment I loved that someone posted was, enjoy every moment. Global Finals is a once-in-a-lifetime experience where you can make new friends, go someplace new, and make memories that last a lifetime. Don't be afraid to try something new, have fun, and trade a lot of pins. I will be continuing to post more advice about Global Finals as we get closer. We've got 3 weeks left. It's really exciting. I hope you liked this episode. If you liked it, please share with someone else going to Global Finals to get everybody excited. And please subscribe so you don't miss any of the next Global Finals edition of the Inspire DI podcast. I'm putting out so much information that's hopefully helping a lot of you to prepare to learn more about what to expect at Global Finals. I know we're getting really excited, and I can't wait to see you all there. Bye-bye.